Today, we discuss the rule breakers, all of them ranked in order. Beautiful people, what's happening? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is LaBelle. I'll be your host with the most. Today, we're going through everyone. We're discussing, of course, the Rule Breakers promo. I'm expecting a little bit more in Team 2. Just gonna throw that out there early. But we have some gems, and we have some controversial opinions. And if you'd like me to put out more videos in regards to these types of promos, please like this, share it. Let me hear your opinion. Would you like an out of position video where we focus on players that don't partake, at least not at their maximum output levels, in their default role? That was a mouthful. Criteria: must be a rule breaker player. This is performance based, not based around value or price point, just output. I'd like to reiterate. Speaking of the out of position players, just gonna track back. If you could put players that you play and their non-traditional position in the comments, I will take your comments and use your suggestions in that video. Let's get started. Barcusin. You knew that he'd be at the bottom of this list. I'm always on the fence with the big jumpers. We're talking hurdles. 71 to 82, a light plus 11. That's actually kind of a heavy increase. And I know EA made this foot item look wild in terms of the dribbling, but he's not gonna feel that shaky or that sticky. Don't do the first with the soda unless you wanna experience the second. The point I'm making, he's not gonna have that quality of movement. There's some fraudulent activity. That could be a theme for today. And I will say this about Rule Breaker Team 1. A lot of players are difference makers. We didn't have a real bottom tier that was a bad look, and we didn't have a bunch of those top god tier-esque must-have game-changing players either. So a lot falls in between. Silva, an extreme specialist, but he doesn't outperform his competition. He's basically a not as impressive version of Bernardo Silva. We could say they're cousins. Probably couldn't make the stretch to brothers. But in FIFA, especially with that 2-star weak foot, and we know he's not going to be physical, you will need significant upgrades to work him into the starting lineup. And I have the utmost respect for Silva on the actual pitch. In fact, I think he's one of the best midfielders that I've been able to witness playing football within my years of consuming. Coats. It looks mad statistically. I can pull up the foot item. Hold on. Sebastian. Price point, very affordable. And he went from being one of the slowest center backs, especially if you're looking at agility and balance, and the upgrade is there. He's 6'5", Uruguayan. I get it. I see it. Headliner stats. But I'm not convinced they are real. Unless we're talking real fraudulent. Mikel Antonio, fantastic value. The price tag is free, but this is not a value list, not discount shopping. Though he is worth the grind, especially if you get some rage quits. Still sort of limited with the weak foot and also the ball control. Want to throw that out there? I'm not saying he's going to be super clunky, but do not expect some easy breezy side to side. No sir. Arnautovic. Oh, it hurts me to put him at number 13. I had a thumbnail and a video ready for Arnautovic, but I didn't like his performance. He didn't meet my expectation. Also didn't go above and beyond. Everything is there. He didn't even last the full weekend. I had to make moves, just didn't have that it factor. And maybe the worst part was I felt his inconsistency. And in FIFA 22, I need him to convert when I get to those bread and butter positions. It's difficult to break down that back line. Those bus drivers, enormous. Plentiful. There's too many of them. So when I open up that angle with the finesse shot, I green time that bad boy. That's got to hit the back corner or the top corner. I got to have that conversion rate. His finishing just seems so bang average. And statistically, that's not what it says it should be. Casimiro. Speaking of out of position players, I'd recommend him as a center back. Because as a center mid or a holding mid, he's too one-dimensional. And if you're going to go that route, there are better one-dimensional players that so happen to be more affordable and lower rated. He's the umbrella of the options in Squid Game. I don't think that's a spoiler. Yes, we just threw in that reference point. Dante. We're not talking the Inferno. Brand new foot item, SBC. Don't love the price tag, but I respect that he's going to be in a league where it's easy to bring together links and that he is still a valuable asset. But I don't feel that he goes above and beyond, especially if we're looking into longevity in FIFA 22. There's been some debate, but I feel most of you agree with not completing Dante. If you're on the other end of the spectrum, fantastic. We can discuss. Diaby. And hear me out, because I feel many of you will have him ranked much higher. Yes, I'm acknowledging his speed, and speed kills. He is so fast. side to side. Agility is authentic. A through ball, that release, I get it. I can read what you can read. 92 finishing to go with 91 shot power. Yes, he has a 2-star weak foot. And as a super sub, but most of these players could be starters or should be starters in your front 11. Am I being a little harsh? Perhaps. But I just feel we want different options than Koeman, who's a bit overrated. I never got that final delivery, that final product with Koeman. And many competitors or players or members of the community feel that Diaby is an upgrade. Gundogan! Love the name. Quality for the league and the price point. Pretty fair. Not really a goal scorer, but you will have the box-to-box, and his dribbling, ooh, spectacular. To go with the stamina upgrades and the physical and just strength. Areas that were problematic previously. But he'll put himself in positions to score goals, and he can progress in attack, which I respect. So now you have a little more chase back, and you've got someone that is maybe Modric-esque, even upgraded to the current Modric. You're not going to feel differently with the virtual version. Ripar, oof. Best value pickup of the year? Question mark. Play him as a center mid. Play him as a holding mid. If that wasn't clear, if that wasn't obvious, that's the first portion of this review or this placement. I want to be 1000% on the same page with you. Because if you're going to play him as a striker, he's going to drop dramatically if you're talking about other rule breakers and just players within this promo. You're getting extra groceries without any extra cost. This is the 80+ gang, and you're going to like what you're working with. Overperforms, overpowered, impressed. I don't even know how he gets all these stats at an 83. I might be a little confused, but I'm not here to add it up. And Kunku. And I was riding the banister a little bit, but we had a full weekend now. Stock has increased. Play him again as a center mid or a holding mid, not as a center attacking mid. Let him drift a little bit. Let him have that free flow. Let him have that fluidity. He can chase back. He can make the tackles. And then he can sit deep and Pirlo-esque those counter-attacking through balls or the over the top, the switch of the pitch. And his dribbling and his pace is going to surprise you. Just how he feels on the ball. There's a certain presence and confidence to go with that perfect delivery. We're talking 5-star quick-fire Uber ratings. On a side note, I just got a probation warning on Uber. Has this happened to anyone else? Should I tell that story? Where do I include that story? But it's happened. I got an email over the weekend. Not proud of that. Nor do I think I earned it. Or someone in my party messed something up. I don't know. Frank. That's right, I said Frank. Cheap Conte. All day you can make that argument, you can make that case. A little more size. I used him this past weekend. I liked the improvements, the larger body type. I did not feel that he was clunky at all. Side to side was good to go. Not gonna be a goal scoring threat or have goal scoring prowess. I want to be very clear with what I'm about to say. But he's better than Conte in that regard. If you get him inside the box, it's not going to be a disaster. But he also is not going to feel the most comfortable. Think an Essien type of player. Not quite as good as Essien, but same wavelengths as a compare and a contrast. Zakaria. Am I biased? Very likely. I like Zakaria. Always have. I think he's underrated, underappreciated. He's not getting the love that he deserves or the recognition. But this is your big body stopper in the midfield. And I don't want to keep making icon comparisons, but I do feel that everyone is experienced using or going against a lot of these well-known icons because they've been included in FIFA for multiple years. You're familiar. You have that perspective. So this could be kind of Vieira-esque. And you're going to be surprised by his dribbling. I just want to stress that. He's a big body type that didn't lose some of the expression that is necessary in order to still generate attacking movements and, of course, those counterattacks. To find key places and key spaces, at least on the pitch. Alexander Arnold, where do you have him placed? I got him highly. Got some significant movement here. These are upgrades that were needed. Is he the best side-to-side player? Is he the most physical fullback? No. But you could definitely make an argument offensively that he is in the highest of high tiers. Out of the back, you need a release. Footwork, And if you play with overlapping fullbacks or a more offensive approach to FIFA 22, someone like Alexander Arnold gives you the ability to be dynamic. Rudiger, beast rating would be very high. You are paying a Premier League tax, but he is a shutdown center back. This guy makes tackles, he chases back, he blocks everything. Whether you're controlling him or the AI's got your back, you are covered. You are insured with Rudiger. Obviously, easy links, clear cut, straightforward. Rudiger is a player that can last multiple months of being impactful, being dominant, in this position. But I guess the drawback would also be that the center back role, you got a lot of depth. Doesn't matter what league. It's just not a position that is necessarily lacking. And I'm sure we're going to have more promos and more upgrades coming ASAP and ASAP and ASAP. Haaland, starting to get kind of weird. It's hard to describe Haaland because I strongly dislike going up against him. I don't know that I would maximize Haaland this year. Do I expect to see him in pro squads? Probably not. But he's got this strength and body type and just unique movements and running animations. He's very powerful. He's galloping, but of course has every physical attribute and characteristic. And when I found myself in 50-50s, I lost. Those lob through balls, I lost. The corner kicks, I conceded. Anything in the air, he was taking it down. And even with the 3-3, we've got to give him some credit, some recognition that this is a very unique and unorthodox foot item that deserves to be ranked highly. I would say the top two were the clear cut on where they should be, could be, would be, and the impact that they're going to have within the FIFA community this year. And I don't even think this is the best Haaland foot item we're going to see. Drum roll! If it wasn't going to be on everyone's mind, when you saw the players that were announced, how could you not have Dembele on your radar? Everyone hoped to pack him. If you had the extra budget, your pockets were weighted heavy, you could go pick him up. I didn't love the million coins or just under that at this point, but Dembele, even at an 83, was nasty, is nasty. Currently one of the best wingers in the game. And now we have helpers, organics, additional resources. One moment, please. He's that anomaly. The pace, it's relevant, it's present, the dribbling, the 5-star weak foot, the 5-star skill moves. You have complete creativity, complete expression. You know he's gonna dribble well. We've already proven or experienced that he gets the bounces or the bounce backs, that he scores the finesse shots, that he can do the near post, he can do the far post, he wiggles, he works, the skills, the execution. It comes in at a premium, and therefore you pay a premium. The only drawback is the low stamina, but that's always been part of the Dembele conversation, and the reality is I'm not sure that it makes that big of a difference. That's the video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And also remember, in the comments, out of position players, run that up. I will make that video. I might have to break it up into attackers and midfielders and defenders. Otherwise, I feel as if it could be a lot of names because it's pretty traditional for us to move and groove, to incorporate, to build competitive advantage. But I have a lot more content coming out ASAP. If you want more of the gameplay, it goes down on twitch.tv/Mike LaBelle, and we upload daily.